Hello, Jumbo. How goes? Konbanwa. Dang, Mark is on the line, and I'm skying on how to say good evening in Lakota. So how kola? I'm speaking in four languages because world percussion covers a lot of territory. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was root rhythms. And root rhythms are those rhythms that show up just about any tradition in the world. Afro-Caribbean, Middle Eastern, European, in symphonic music, Japanese music, percussion, what have you. It's all there. And I'm sorry for the delay. I had to take a conference call with the not-for-profit at 7, which totally blew me off my timeline. But I managed to get here. We're going to be about an hour or so. So I'm going to spend a little time with root rhythms, and we're going to spend a little time with the Corona Matsuri project, which I'll talk about in the back half. I'm hoping that more folks will get here as you go along. And so I'm seeing people come in. I hope everybody is well, hanging in there, whatever level of stay-at-home, social distancing, essential work that you're currently tied into. I understand that it is complicated. First, I'd like folks, if you're down there on the chat thing, maybe that's that side, or it might be on the bottom, depending on how you've got your Facebook set up. Please tell me how the sound is. If I turn on my desktop sound, I get weird stadium echo, and I really can't tell if it's any good or not. Okay. Now, I don't care if you've never drummed, if you're a regular Shango member, if you're one of the beginners in Shango's Gate, or experienced drummer. I don't care what tradition you play in. It doesn't matter. We're just here to celebrate the beat, send it around the world, lively ourselves up. And one of the things that has been complex is that the best part of drumming and singing and making music of all kind is making music together, being together, either around a drum or in a circle with a bunch of drums, or in a group playing Taiko, or a ritual or ceremony where there's good songs and chants. I miss that a lot, and I'm hoping that we'll climb out of this into a world that we can be face to face in sacred space together again. Looking forward to that. In the meantime, we're all being careful, and we're trying to take care of ourselves in a good way. I should probably adjust that light a little bit. I got weird shadows. That's a little better. And maybe, yeah, okay. So anyway, if you'd like to, you can drop a comment down in the chat box and just say hi and let us know how you're doing and what's going on with y'all. That would be awesome. In the meantime, let me grab a noisemaker. Okay. All right, for you non-African players, this is a djembe. This is a big traditional djembe. It's made out of a tree and a goat skin. It has a deep sound and a high sound. And I know that Facebook's sound algorithms are set up to largely pick up voice, because that's what most streaming is. So sometimes the drum sounds a little like a tin can being beat on with a stick. Well, we'll make do with that. So first thing I want to talk about is this button that is just coming loose on me all the time. One of the things about streaming is that you get to see yourself. Now, those of you who are new to drums, you see my ring here. That's coming off. On a hands-on drum, it's not a good idea to wear rings because of the thin heads, that the rings can damage and actually slice the heads. And also, if you ever catch the rim or the metal part that's wrapped here, that's wrapped up, you'll know about it right away, as opposed to that sore feeling you get the morning after. I'm going to adjust a little bit so I can see. Okay, so you can see my drum head a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to start off with one of the most simplest and most difficult rhythms in the world, and that's, let me call it, it's basically a heartbeat. Just a way to loosen up. Now, how that works is that's 4 counts. 2 counts are sounded, 2 counts are silent. And this is a trick question that I sometimes hassle my students with. And the trick question is what are the 2 parts of every drum rhythm in the world? And it's a trick question because it's obvious, but since you can put a note down in the thing if you think you know. But I'm just going to give it to you anyway, because of the lag time, it'll be like 10 seconds before I see anything pop up down there. But it is sound and it is silence. The spaces between the beats are as important as the beats themselves. Okay? And where this can sometimes go wrong, and it happens on the native drum as well, is that the spaces over time go away. And that's how the rhythm picks up speed. Also, people get excited. I'm guilty of this myself. And so you end up with 3, 4, 3, 4, 3.5. And then the space has gone away. So counting is a thing. It's part of how we use the count. We take time and we slice it up into pieces that we can wrap our human brains around. Now, we already have a good timekeeper that we carry with us all the time, and it's right here. And that's why the heartbeat is a root rhythm. Now, there's a number of different kinds of heartbeats. Now, sometimes the heartbeat in a native drum is a single pulse. It's a straight Mother Earth pulse. There's also 2, 3. And that's a 2-3. That's a 2-3 heartbeat. 2 notes sounded, 1 side. And that's on a 3-4 or 6-8 or 6-8 time. Hey, Jonathan, Bill, welcome aboard. Good to see you, folks. Good to see you guys. And the most difficult of the heartbeats is probably the one that has the most empty space in it. That's a 2-8 heartbeat. And you can say that's the 1 and on a 4 count, or 1, 2, and then 6 quiet. So you end up with the beat like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why would you ever want to use something like that with that much emptiness in it? Well, that's really good for guided meditation. Sometimes chants like kirtan work well around those. The famous Om chant is, for most Western folk, will bore the pants off you, and you're just sitting there like, oh God, how long do we have to do this? You know, but basically, it's that one Om Mani Padme Om. And by itself, it's if you have all that monkey mind going on, it's kind of boring. But when you add that heartbeat to it, it gets kind of cosmic. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Namaste. So, there you have it. So, that's one of the uses for a very open rhythm like that. Now, a common rhythm. I don't know if any of you folks were on board with Christian Arendt on Sunday for Junspiration. And there's a common entry-level rhythm. It's from the Nigerian pattern Aramile. But sometimes it's like you can say, I like to drum. If it's a good way of remembering it, because so I can play the drum. Get that? I can play the drum. So that's actually, and so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay. And so that uses 2 tones on the drum. It uses the bass tone, that's here in the center. If you see my hands here, imagine a lot, and then I back off a little. Wish there was a zoom function on a webcam, but there ain't. I'm going to back off so you can see most of the head. Cross here, imagine the center line with your hands just about your palm part of your hand crossing the line, so that line is just about here on your palm. Okay, the fingers are up and out of the way, and you're using almost your entire palm and your palm pad to make the sound. Boom. Okay, that's the bass tone. In Afro-Caribbean parlance, that would be called gun or bass. Gun, gun. And we use those words because they sound like what's being played, so you can make a connection between your brain and what your hands are doing. And Baba Tunde Olatunji, that's why I'm wearing my Baba hat to remember him, was very fond of saying, if you can say it, you can play it. That shows up also in Taiko, which we'll get to in a little while. But essentially, so if you can go gun gun, you know that means. Okay, if you hear gun go do, and that introduces the tone. Tone is played with the front part of your palm, from about the mid part to most of your hand, and if you make your triangle shape, and that comes across the drum with your palm pads just about at the rim, and you're striking with this part of your hand, and you're coming off the drum as if it's hot lava or a trampoline. Okay, and it makes a nice clean sound. And we use go do to make that. Now people associate go do right left. I'm left-handed, so you'll see this on the right side. Just lucky. Okay. And so go do, go do. Okay. And so that the pattern we were doing before is gun go do go do. I can play the drum. 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 And there you are, and there you have it. Okay, and this is a great rhythm to warm up with, to loosen up with. It's dead simple. Maybe next time around we might go over aramile. There's a traditional Nigerian song that goes with it. But that's one of our basic root rhythms. Now we have another one that's basically that's half of it. That's part of the two. There's a bunch of rhythms we call 2/4s. 2/4s basically mean there's two counts out of a 4-count measure, or 4 out of 8. And so it's like, okay. And so what you end up with is 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. Okay. And so the whole measure be, okay. So bass tone, gun godo, 1 godo, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and you. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you have it. I'm going to cheat and take a quick look at this feed and see how bad the lag is. It's not too bad. It's not as bad as trying to dual stream when I'm playing both both Facebook and YouTube. When I do that, what I end up having to do is use a multicasting service called Caster, and so the stream that's going from my encoder, which is OBS, great open source encoder, which allows me to do clever things like dropping images and overlays and stuff like that, and then bring across, and then that goes up to a multicasting service called Caster, which sends a stream to Facebook and to YouTube. But that each step introduces some latency, so it's like talking to a Mars mission. You know, so you ever remember the old Apollo moon mission stuff? Houston would talk to the Apollo, and it'd be like beep, and then be like 1, 2, 3, and they'd answer beep. So it's kind of like that. So it's not quite the same thing as being live. Now some of the meeting services that people are working with, Zoom and Jitsi, Google Hangouts, WebEx, and there's a bunch of them, all have some latency, but they try to at least address that problem a little bit. Zoom's done a pretty good job of it, except for the fact that they have all kinds of security and data privacy issues because they focus primarily on ease of use and performance, and so they're having to catch up now that they have 200 million subscribers out of nowhere. Welcome to 2020. This week's been a long year. Okay. So I want to get to one of our warm-up rhythms that we call 2/4. I think it's Ayub in the Middle Eastern. I don't remember if it has a African name off the top of the head, but it's similar to one you'll hear in a lot of drum circles. That one is. But the 2/4 is actually a little simpler than that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to get that for you. Give me just a second here. I want that. Okay. And let's transition that across. There you go. Okay. Now, what you're looking at across the bottom of the screen is your basic notation for 2/4, and it's bass, bass, tone. Now, if you see that the S in parentheses, that's for a slap. You can give a little more bounce and impact to the sound, to the rhythm. By you can exchange that last tone into a slap. Okay. And so that's what you'll end up with. Okay. And so basically just half of it. Okay, bass. Okay, so it's one and okay, one and bass tone. Okay, bass tone. Okay. Now if you notice I'm double writing here because there's a thing called drum logic that Christian pointed out to me. I knew this in my head, but she actually articulated it in a real good way. If you can imagine me playing every note on the piece, so you've got 1 and a 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 5 and okay. So basically it'd be with a steady right left. So it'd be bass and tone, tone. So bass and tone, tone, bass, tone. Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm thinking of playing this with all the pieces, but just dropping out some of the plays. So if I played every note, be but I'm dropping out individual tones. If I'm filling in the spaces between all the bass of the tones, I'm leaving some out. So it'll be and it's mostly left hands I'm dropping. Okay, left. Okay, there it is. Okay, I'm just a little weird looking at the camera and it's looking at me, but I'm getting used to it. So, that said, hello all new people. Vinny, Anderson, Anastasios, Ms. Lori, Ula, Stephanie, thank you for coming out. We've just gotten into a section where I'm talking about the 2/4 rhythm. We didn't quite finish it up, but just jump on it. If you have a drum, great. If you don't, that's okay. Okay, lively yourself up anyway. If you took a look down timeline a little bit, there's a straight piece of video where I'm describing all the different things you can use to make noise with, and I somehow mentioned chicken implements. And I mean kitchen implements. That was just perfect. But I left, you can go fetch that if you want to check it out. But again, bass, tone, bass, tone. Bass, tone. Now you can alternate hands, or you can do the in out, whichever works, as long as you can make the tone. But I mentioned the drum logic way. If you're just playing right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, and I drop out some of the rights, some of the lefts, and there you are. Now if you notice, the back half of this is just a little bit different. We're dropping in another tone, and that gives it a little bit of a bounce. Okay, now I'm going to slow it down a little bit so you get it, so you get a sense of it. And I'll talk it out. Bass, tone, tone, bass, tone, bass, tone, tone, bass, tone, tone, bass, tone, tone, bass, tone, bass, tone, tone, bass, tone, tone, bass, tone, tone, bass, tone, bass, tone, tone, bass, tone, tone, bass, tone, bass, tone, tone, bass, tone, tone. So there you have it. Let's try that out a little bit. And Now, if you notice that these tones are lowercase, and that one's uppercase. Okay, and that basically means you want to play those two paired tones a little lighter, and then this one's a little more oomph on it. Or if you make it a slap with a punk, a hard hit, and the same thing goes with the back half, and that gives it a little bit more texture and flavor. Now, the slap. The slap is the most challenging of the basic tones for beginners to acquire. It's done at about a 45-degree touch. And then what happens is that you make contact just behind the rim of the drum with your pad and let your fingers fall and just smack the drum head and fall right off. So it's like, bonk. Punk. Okay, okay. And notice my hands are real relaxed and loose. And there you have it. Okay. Hello, Andy, Ms. Beth. Welcome aboard. Okay, so when you add the slap to that basic rhythm, you get a more textured, more interesting sound. You make these a little quieter, and so you have some amplitude change as well. Show you what that looks like with a slightly different okay, let's transition that out. Okay, now I can see it. Now here it is in the African syllabic notation, and it sounds like what it sounds. And the words used are what the rhythm sounds like. Okay. Now what you can do with that is that now the slap sound is pa and ta. Okay, so pa, ta, ta, and so now this rhythm can be played on all kind of instruments. It don't necessarily has to be a djembe. A lot of you guys, well, I don't have a djembe. I have a djembe. I have a frame drum. I've got a taiko. I've got a medicine drum. It's fine. Don't worry yourself. I'm going to transition again. Now, that's a slightly different notation. That's notated for doumbek. This is my old faithful doumbek. He's quite old, but he's sturdy as hell. It's made out of cast aluminum. Plastic head, watertight. You can see the aluminum interior. This vinyl skin is starting to peel off, but that's okay. It doesn't change the sound at all. Now, doumbeks are played a little bit differently. Okay, the bass is here in the center of the drum, and Middle Eastern players call that doom. Okay, then your dominant side hand comes out to here. It's tek. And across the top is ka. Now, interesting enough, this isn't done here, but it's actually done with the pinky finger and a little bit of the ring, maybe. Hello, Adam. Hello, Andy. Welcome to the stream. And so that same rhythm. That's kind of fast. So doom tekka doom tek doom tekka doom. Now if you see it kind of now like we did with the slap on the other one, you see a little accent mark. Okay, and then that's a loud tek. These tekkas are a little quieter. This tekka is quieter, and then the tek at the end has an accent mark. That indicates you want to put a little bit more oomph behind that. This rhythm really lends itself to the doumbek because you're doing most of it with your dominant hand. Now, if you're lefty, now I'm actually playing lefty, but it looks right-handed to you folks. But if you're left-handed, you go to the other. You go to the other side. You go to the other side, and you're playing it here. So you can play 2/4 on djembe, on doumbek, on other instruments. I just happen to have a baran here, and it's a little bit of a different instrument. I don't have a diagram for it, but it'll be pretty obvious. Okay, now each instrument has its own voice, its own flavor, and it lends itself to different things. And so if you start, now you can take this rhythm and add and extemporize all over it. You can riff your brains out with 2/4. We'll do a thing on, and maybe down the road a piece will do a thing on Baran. That's entirely separate. I did one not too long, about a month ago. It talks about the stories that go with the Baran. Now, what I want to do is connect this idea to a Japanese song called Matsuri Daiko. Now, Matsuri means festival, and almost every village in Japan will have its own flavor of Matsuri Daiko. And it's played at Oban, it's played at Summer's Day, and we play pretty much wherever the people gather, typically in the Shinto tradition. And that's come across here to the United States, especially in the springtime at the Sakura Matsuri, Cherry Blossom Festival, celebrated down in DC, up in New York, wherever you have those beautiful ethereal, that week or so of just outstanding gorgeousness of cherry blossoms. There's a Japanese song called Matsuri Daiko, means festival drums, and that's played on these types of drums, Japanese Taiko. And those aren't hand drums; they're played with bachi, okay, or drumsticks, and it's very active, very frontal, very in-your-face style. And I'm going to put up another graphic, okay, and it might look a little familiar to you. Okay, that's it. Okay, don suku don don, don suku don don. Now, just like we have gun godo pata on the djembe and dun tekka on the dumbek, that is, because yes, I'm changing languages every 15 seconds. Okay, so that rhythm, let me play it on the quieter one. Ooh, let's take down the mic gain a little bit, even though it's got a lot of bass in there. Okay, I hope y'all can still hear me okay, but I just took down the mic gain a little bit so that we don't blow out your subwoofers. So, okay, on the smaller drum. Actually, I should be good and go right-handed. So it sounds very similar because it has the exact same rhythmic shape. So here you've got, okay, there it is. Okay, bass, tone, tone, bass, tone, tone, don, suku, don, don. So in Japanese parlance, the don is the big hit in the center of the drum. Don. Okay, sounds like, again, it sounds like what is being played. Okay, lower is a little bit less don. Okay, as opposed to big don, smaller don. Suku are two quiet notes played close together, and typically here. Suku, 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 suku. So don, suku, don, don is don, suku, don, 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 suku, don, don. Okay, play like that. Don, suku, don, 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 suku, don, don, suku, don, don, suku, don, don. And what you may have noticed is that that's a similar sounding sound. One of the things I discovered when working with Shangö Percussion over the last year or so is that when I acquired this guy about 2 years ago and him about 4 months ago, is that the rhythm of Matsuri Daiko is so similar to the 2/4 root rhythm that they play really nice together. But it also means that any of the 4-count root rhythms can sit with Matsuri Daiko and you can jam your brains out. Trust me, because we've done exactly that. Hello, Tiffany. I'm glad you're here. And Tamiko-san, hi. So that 2/4 being a world root rhythm sits with what we call the jiuchi, or the bass line of Matsuri Daiko. Everything sits on that pattern, okay, which is functions similar to and which means that Matsuri Daiko and world percussion play very nice together. Tamiko is here, and she's a member of Kodo in New York. Those are my Taiko godparents. And in their version of Matsuri Daiko, they bring in a number of non-traditional instruments. Shakere, a big rattly thing that I don't know the name of, the cannon, a few other interesting toys to really give their version of Matsuri a really deep and rich sound. It's a lot of fun. Generally speaking, in Matsuri Daiko, there's a sequence that's played, and then you just play the juichi and let the individual members do all kinds of things, solo, improv, and just have a fabulous time with that rhythm. So let me show you something quick here. Transition another diagram for you. Okay, if you can see the diagram there, if you notice that everything lines up, you see at the bottom the jiuchi from Matsuri Daiko, and you see 2/4 in our standard bass tone bass tone notation in the African syllabic diagram and in the Middle Eastern diagram. It is effectively the same rhythm, and so they can dance and play with each other in a real good way. All right, let me take that off. Okay. Now there is a main sequence that goes with Matsuri Daiko, and it is typically played at the beginning and at the end. That gives it its shape, its sound, and it sits on top of that bass line. That bass line pretty much runs constantly through the song, and then you play the main patterns. I'm going to quickly show you the whole stack, and then we'll take them apart. Okay, that's the whole thing, and it may look like a lot to take up, but that's why we do this say it, play it. Okay, if you can sing it, you can get it. If you make your mouth do it, you can get your hands to catch up. And you might notice something interesting about how that's put together. Let me swap out another one. Okay, now you might notice that the back end of all the patterns are the same. Okay, and it mirrors the shape of the bass line. So you've got dan, kara, ka, ka. Okay, what the heck is kara and ka, ka? Those are rim hits. You can't see it, but so you've got. Okay. And that is the shape of what's going on. And everything else is embellishment to give it some life and some shape. So let's look at number one. I'll cue up number two while I'm here. Let's look at number one. And I'm going to move the big guy so you can see a little bit better. Yeah. Nikki-san. So, and I'm going to be playing a style called Nanami Deco, which is Nanami, which is diagonal. So I'm standing to one side and slightly behind the drum, one side and back of the drum. On the big one, and so the pattern is don karaka. So ich ni so re. Like that. Don karaka. Don karaka. not going to get into kata because I only have like the hour or so. It's already 8:50. I started a little late, but I want to at least run through the patterns. Okay. The second pattern is dan dan suko dan karaka. Now the su means a rest. It's a way of making sure you leave space for it. So dan dan suko dan karaka. Okay. Now ko is not quite as big a hit as a dan. Okay. So you got some medium dans, a ko, and then a big dan. Okay. How y'all subwoofers holding up? Oh, good. I have no idea actually, but that's bear with. I'm doing my best to bear with here, Poof. I just love OBS because it allows me to do transitions and overlays. That's just awesome. That's why gamers like this. So now the third pattern, su dan ko dan karakaka. So basically, you're actually dropping that first beat out. That's it. It throws beginners off. See, so ich ni so re su dan su. Ich ni so re su dan dan karaka su dan su. So re su dan su ko dan karaka su dan su. And 4. Yep, good. Now if you notice that each one gets a little bit more intricate as we go, there's only 6, so don't panic. Kodan kara don don karaka. Kodan kara don don karaka. Kodan kara don don karaka. So you've got a rim hit in the middle of the first half. So ni so re. That's the 4th line. Okay, 5th line, actually the trickiest one because it throws people the heck off. Starts with the rim hit. Ka don don karaka. Ka don don karaka. Ka don don. Ka don. This one also has a left lead. Ka don. So left, right, left, right, karaka. So left, right, ich ni so re. Ka don don karaka. Ka don don. Ka don don karaka. Ka don don karaka. Don. And last one is number 6. Okay. This is actually fairly easy to maintain, a little harder to do. Doro kara don karaka. Doro kara don. Doro and doko are notes that are close together. Doro is tighter than doko, if that makes sense to you, because it sounds tighter and they are. Bear in mind, this is a folk oral tradition, which means that with taiko being played around the world, you're going to see some variance into how this is done. That's fine. And so, what's the right one, sensei? Whatever the one your teacher's doing. Okay, don't correct them. They'll send you. You can end up wiping the dojo floor while everybody else gets to play taiko. Okay. So, doro kara don karaka. Doro kara don karaka. Doro kara don karaka. Doro kara don karaka. Doro kara, don don kara. Now I'm going to bring back the full pattern again, and I'm going to leave it with the version that has the. So you can see how that ending is consistent throughout. Okay, even from so you've got your juichi, and the second phrase of the main line. Same timing, same pace. Okay, so that gives it your timing and helps hold everything together. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my other workstation, which is over here. By the way, I'm a graphic designer by trade, so I'm using 2 workstations, but I also have 6 drums within arm's reach of me. That's normal, right? Okay, sanity in this day and age is overrated and maybe not all that useful. Okay, so I'm going to plug in a useful tool for us solo practitioners, at least when we're at home. Give me a moment. I'm going to go to a tool called Taiko drum machine. A man named Alan Liu put something together that is really useful. He has created a thing where you can plug in Taiko rhythms and have them play back to you online automatically. How cool is that? So I'm going to go get one I've already set up. It's the Matsuri. It's the Matsuri Jiuchi at 108 beats per minute, which is reasonable. And it doesn't sound too bad. Okay, it's a little mechanical, but that's okay. And so I'm going to play through the main sequence with a little bit of the kata. Ich, ni, so, re. Thank you, Alan, for your good work. I do appreciate you. Especially when I'm here by myself and don't have anyone to play Jiuchi for me. And it's also really helpful because sometimes I can record sections, but a recording has finite length and you just want to practice and drill. And that the Taiko drum machine doesn't ask for a break, doesn't want T, doesn't need anything. T, there's an idea. I mean, a lot of time speaking instead of working out. So I want to talk a little bit about something I'm working on. If you go down the timeline or go to the Shangö Percussion webpage, there is a project that's underway. Let me see, do I have it here? Yes, I do. Matsuri project. Okay. This is the Corona Matsuri Uplift Project. It's at shangopercussion.org/coronamatsuri.html. Don't worry, it's on my timeline. It's linked from the homepage, shangopercussion.org. But the idea here is that I'm working on a group participation video project. And it's basically, I've got a basic Matsuri Daiko track that I've put together. Let me just run that so we have some drum happening. And the idea is you take that track and you break out your smartphone or your DSLR or whatever cam or point your webcam at it, and just record yourself having some fun with Matsuri Daiko. You don't even have to play Taiko. You don't even have to play drums. You can play djembe, you can play or doumbek or hand drum or big ceremony drum, shakere, go-go, flute. I wish someone would play a shime daiko. I don't own one. For whatever you want, kitchen implements, bang on the walls you're climbing, and just send me the videos, and I'm going to try to put them together into a group video to help basically lift ourselves up and basically kind of celebrate that coronavirus notwithstanding. We're going to keep the heartbeat alive, and we're not giving up on each other or the heartbeat. And that's kind of my insane project. I'm out of my mind clearly, but I'm willing to put in a little effort and sweat to make it happen. So I hope these stuff will come in. If you go to the page, do I have a thing on the page? Let's see, what does that say? Nope, that's. Give me just a second. Right now I'm looking around on my computer. I'll let that play on while I'm there. Videos. No, Corona. My documents. Corona Matsuri images. Okay. And a bunch of screenshots that I didn't name. Good job. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh. Pop. Pop. And there it is. Okay, yay. And on the page is all the information on how this works. So I'm just going to go back to the image, and I'm going to modify where I'm looking. Oh, nope. And it's got it has the bass track. It's got links to the drum machine. It's got the kuchishoga, which is what we call those syllabic diagrams. It's got the Juichi tracks at 108 and 128 BPM, and the arrangement. So you'll be able to plenty of resources, and also links to the Dropbox and a Google Drive folder where you can drop images, and also on the site is contact stuff that you can have questions and send and whatever. Hope I can make this work. I already know a couple of people are mucking around and doing some interesting things with this. So I hope that you guys will be on board with it. Alrighty, let's just finish up. I'm gonna look. Anyway, so it's getting a little bit past 9. I've been on for just about an hour. That's the amount of time I wanted to give to this. Also because my wife has actually been holding supper for me. I had a conference call at 7, which is why I came on at 8 instead of at 7. Sorry about that, folks. But I'm glad you're all here. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you maybe learned something. Got questions. Want to see about jamming some. I've occasionally tried to do things on Zoom. They're a little trickier, but we might do that again at some time. But all in all, thank you so much for coming out. Domo arigato gozaimasu. Wo pila tanka. Ashe ashe. Thank you and good night. Japanese would be oyasumi nasai. Lakota. And hepe wa stay, buenas noches, all those good things. Everyone be safe out there, do all the things, be careful, and hope to be in a drum circle, at the drum ceremony, playing taiko, with each and every one of you sometime real soon. Good night.